Hi there, English 2. This is my third attempt at writing this paragraph. I tell you that I write a lot of drafts. It's true. I do. So I'm going to give it try number 3, and hopefully it works. I'm trying to keep up the good work for you. So welcome to this video about analyzing poetry, specifically analyzing symbols and themes in poetry. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is how I write a paragraph in which I'm going to analyze a poem. I'm going to identify a symbol in that poem, and I'm going to use that symbol to figure out what the theme is. And I'm going to present that to my reader. So I've got my paper all set up. I've got my header, got my heading, got my title, and I'm ready to go. So I know when I write a paragraph, I need to start by identifying it. And in this case, I need to identify the answer to my prompt. And my prompt is, how does Blake use a symbol in the lamb to present his theme? Okay, so I'm going to just start off by answering that question. We've talked about this a little in class, so you kind of know where I'm coming from on this one. But we know that the lamb is a symbol because he's stressed so much here, right? And he's got so much emphasis on him. We also have this biblical allusion that we get right here, connecting the lamb to Jesus, right? And we have this other kind of connection between the child and the lamb. So connecting the lamb to Jesus, connecting the lamb to children, knowing that a lamb is itself a baby sheep, knowing that a lamb has that kind of symbolic resonance of being gentle and sweet and soft. We're really going to be able to explain that this lamb symbolizes innocent creatures, and that right here, right? He is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb, right? We're going to be able to connect those innocent creatures to Jesus and to holiness, right? And that's really what Blake is trying to convince us of in this poem, right? That innocent creatures are holy. And that's really his message. So we're going to explain how he uses the lamb to convey that message. So when I identify it, right, I'm going to say the in the lamb, William Blake uses the lamb as a symbol to, and so I don't really feel comfortable with the word reveal, right? Because he's making a kind of a claim about something that's belief. So I'm not going to use the word reveal, but I might use the word maybe to convey the message. Okay, convey the message that innocent creatures like the lamb are holy, right? So I know I'm doing okay, right? Because I've identified it. I've talked about his particular symbol, right? And when I give the message, innocent creatures like the lamb are holy, that's a complete thought, so I'm good there. I need to make sure my theme is a complete thought. If I want to make it a little bit more general, I could probably get rid of like the lamb. So I could just say innocent creatures are holy. That way it's not too specific to this poem. So that's probably a little bit better. So now I need to do what? Yeah, you guessed it. I need to prove it. So I need to give a series of quotes. I need to give context for those quotes, and I need to analyze those quotes. So let's go back up, right? I need to prove that the lamb is a symbol for innocent creatures. Okay, so I'm going to start there. So, little lamb who made thee, dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee life and bid thee feed by the stream and o'er the mead, gave thee clothing of delight, soft as clothing, woolly bright, gave thee such a tender voice, making all the vales rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Okay, so I'm going to say the poem begins with the speaker asking the lamb a question. He says, little lamb, who made thee? Does thou know who made thee? Okay, that one doesn't have a question mark. Lines 1 and 2. By using the word, okay, little, Blake draws attention to the fact that the lamb is small and young. He also emphasizes, use my sentence starter, that this is a lamb, which is a baby sheep. Okay? So I've already established that the lamb is small and young, and that the lamb is a baby, right? So I've already started to develop that idea of innocence. I'm just going to put one more sentence to really drive that home. The lamb is therefore a symbol for innocence or innocent creatures in the poem. Okay, so now I've really established by analyzing using the little lamb, right, that we're talking about innocent creatures, right? Now I need to talk about this second part, right, of my message, right, that innocent creatures are holy. Later in the poem, the speaker tells the lamb who made him. He says, I'm going to say the speaker says, right? Because I want to be clear that I'm not saying the lamb says, but the speaker says. Okay, so the speaker says, he is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. I don't know what lines these are. I gotta look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay? By referring to he and him in capital letters, he refers to Jesus. Okay? This, I have to explain that. And then I want to really analyze the quote. This connection, because they both go by the name of lamb, shows that there is a connection between innocent creatures and Jesus. Okay? Right? I could develop this a little bit more and talk about also this, he became like a child, I a child, and thou a lamb. We are called by his name. That would be a way to even further develop this paragraph. But right now, I have a pretty good basis of establishing that symbol and what he symbolizes through my analysis, right? This is all analysis, right? And then also establishing that connection between the lamb and Jesus through this quote and then this analysis. So now I can just